And for more on this development, African Affairs analyst Ademola Oshodi joins me virtually from the United Kingdom. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon.
So we're back to having another conversation on a coup in West Africa. It almost now like something everyone expects. When there is a high level of insecurity in a particular country, one begins to think that probably we will see the movement of soldiers like we saw in Burkina Faso yesterday. But no one has claimed to have seized power in that country. How do you read the situation in Burkina Faso?
Well, thank you. It's still very hazy. It's not settled yet. It's hard to determine what will be the final outcome. It's very fluid. But what we know for sure that the country of Burkina Faso is on a really, really dangerous footing. This will be their 7th coup in about 7 years. It's really bad. It's bad for West Africa. This is West Africa's 4th coup in about a year and a half, less than a year and a half. We started with Chad, we had one in Guinea, we had one in Mali, another one in Guinea. So this is another one in Burkina Faso. It's bad for democracy, and it could be rather contagious. It gives the military, the soldiers in different African countries the confidence to take on the democratic elected government. It's bad for emerging democracies all around Africa. The international community must not allow it to stand. And this, hopefully in Burkina Faso, there's a settlement that restores the power of President Kabore.
And you mentioned Guinea, you mentioned Mali. The difference between the situation in Mali and Guinea and in Burkina Faso as well is that we have people in Mali and Burkina Faso who support this coup. They are citizens of those countries who have come out in protest in support of the military. Does that sort of give legitimacy to the coup in Mali and then the mutiny attempt in Burkina Faso?
Generally, coups can be popular. West African countries, African countries generally going through a rather tough economic situation with COVID, poverty increasing because of climate issues, desertification, and of course the Islamists, the insurgency around the Sahel region of West Africa, right across from Mauritania all the way to Cameroon, went through Niger, Cameroon, Chad, and all that area. So it's a rather unstable time because of the economic situation. So when anybody comes and gives them hope, gives the populace hope, there's a certain expectation, there's a certain celebration. But it's in many cases, it is really, really bad for the country. The citizens that are actually going out to celebrate, they don't know the long-term effect of this. It's just becomes more and more a case of basically more coups to bring more, satisfaction for people. So what they need is stable democracy, stable governance, and, as much as possible, international assistance. You can't tell this to people that are struggling to make ends meet, pay bills, and, have food on their table, and also being killed in many parts of West Africa. But ultimately, this is the best way forward, to actually have a stable democracy that grows organically, grows steadily with the support of the neighbors, especially Ecowas, and with the support of also the international community. French, for instance, a lot of these countries are French-speaking West African countries that are going through their instability. So they need a lot of intervention from France, though France is, insisting on withdrawing a lot of their soldiers in West Africa that are already providing some sort of semblance of stability and security. So it's not unusual for people to celebrate coups, especially attempted coups, but in the long term, medium and long term, it is really bad news for the same people that are celebrating. It doesn't change much. You need good governance, you need strong institutions, not strong men.
Absolutely, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because it does look like since 2021, democracy seems to be taking a step back in West Africa. And we've seen how ECOWAS has been making a frantic effort, whether in Guinea or in Mali, to stabilize the situation there and ensure that there is a transition back to democracy. How should ECOWAS begin to engage in Burkina Faso, seeing that this has not been called a coup yet?
ECOWAS has to be swift and firm. We have to take the same steps we've taken in Mali and Guinea. There has to be some restoration of democracy. It has to be quick. It has to show the military rulers or military people basically threatening the democratic progress of any country in West Africa that it means business. Led by Nigeria, ECOWAS has to be very firm because, as I said, this could be very contagious. This could also affect, the insecurity issues that they're so concerned about. With more instability in the government, more people will have dire situations to deal with, and the international community would not want to help them. So it's a really, really bad situation whereby you want to help your country with the soldiers. They want to help their country, but at the same time, the international community will not condone the approach they're taking. It's just not possible, which again exacerbates the situation, making things worse, making things more unstable. So ECOWAS has to be really firm, and it has to be from now until the end.
We'll see how this plays out. These are all former French colony. We'll also see how the French government continues to engage with this government. Thank you so much for talking to us. Always great to have you on. African Affairs Analyst Ademola Oshodi.
Thank you.